One local resident phoned the Fyffe Police Department after watching a crescent and triangular-shaped object pass over the treetops. As the woman reported the object, she asked for a patrolman to come out and look. Fyffe Police Chief Charles Jr. Garmany and Assistant Chief Fred Works half-heartedly got into their patrol car and headed out to the community of Grove Oak, west of Fyffe. Before they could reach their destination, they heard officers from neighboring police departments on their radio, all reporting strange objects in the sky, objects that made no sound, objects they couldn't begin to recognize. In less than a minute, Chief Garmany and Assistant Chief Fred Works spotted one of the objects.
A lady had called an object in the sky in, and the chief and myself went out to check it out, and we saw a bright white light in the sky before we ever got to her location. And we stopped and watched it. It was like maybe 2 fingers over the horizon, over the treetop horizon, and appeared to be moving at a very slow pace. And it would get brighter and then dimmer, almost like a light turning toward you and then away from you. So we stopped the vehicle and observed it for a few minutes, just, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes, and decided we would try to drive toward it. We radioed the town down south of us, and I believe their chief was on duty at that time, and he confirmed that he saw the object, and it appeared to have some blinking lights on it, like maybe a red and green colored lights. A police officer from Crossville radioed and said that he told us his location and said that a large object had flown over him at a fast pace, flying in a west and south direction. Well, evidently we were in the path of that object. We stopped and got out and looked back toward the east, and I saw this object coming over the treetops, and it appeared to have kind of a, I don't know, like a white lights on it. They weren't actually shining where they were real bright. You could just tell they were on it, and there was kind of a glow of the lights around it. And I told Junior, I said, there's the object he's talking about. And I said, it appears to be an airplane. And I said, well, I said, it don't look exactly like an airplane. And it kept flying toward us, and it flew right straight over our heads, and it was hard to tell what distance, you know, what height it was. Maybe, we estimated maybe 1,500 to 2,000 feet, and possibly as big as a football field. And it had three huge, like spotlights, kind of triangle shape, with the one being more toward the front. But they weren't shining at the ground. They were like shining back up on the craft itself. So I asked the chief, I said, cut the car engine off. And like I said, there was no other background noises. The car was dead. You know, we shut the engine down, it was dead. And here this big object come flying over, and I mean, if you put your hands up like this, that's about how big it looked to you. Bigger than a beach ball, you know. That's big or bigger. And we watched it fly over us, and then we turned, you know, no sound whatsoever. We watched it go off south and west of us. Never a sound. If we'd have been looking down at the ground, we'd have never known it was there.
Fred and I pulled over on the side of the road on County Road 43 and stopped our patrol car, shut the engine off and got out. And at that time, the object came directly over our patrol car, and we were looking up underneath it. And the object appeared to me that it was some 1,000, 1,500 feet higher, had 3 real bright lights underneath it that were shining not on the ground to illuminate the ground, but shining back up underneath the craft to illuminate the craft itself. And there was some lights around what I call the face of the craft or the crown of it, whatever you may call it, appeared looking up through the glare of those other lights. Maybe green, blue, or red, or some of them might have been white. It was a large craft, and it had no sound whatsoever. It just continued didn't descend or pick up any speed or anything, just a steady speed, just right over us, and went right on out of sight. Sometime after that now, after 89 of February the 10th, we had several calls. The night of February the 10th, we had several calls, and they've been scattered reports ever since then. I had a person come in just last night. Marty Roberts in the Grove Oak area came in, and he described this object to me and drew me a diagram of it on a paper, and it was something similar to what I had seen on February the 10th of '89. And he seen that this past date.